IVM.
All right, welcome to Shunya 1, episode 104, continuing our international mini-series.
Hey man, you go to Sweden, we take advantage of it. Even when the Sweden comes to India, we take advantage of it.
Exactly. In fact, this week we actually have someone who's come to our studio.
Yes.
While the Sweden-India business team was in India, and we got a chance to talk to them.
It's a really interesting conversation, right? I mean, we're talking about, in some ways we're talking about couponing and those kinds of businesses, but I thought that the approach that he brought to it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's great to see that entrepreneurs, even from abroad, come to India and they see such a huge market in India and so much potential that even to do a business like this, which in a lot of ways is not new. I mean, there are other companies doing this, but he actually saw potential in how big the market still is for e-commerce and the like, and that's why he's built out this system, which we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk to Fredrik, who's going to be here and tell us about KaroBargain.com. All right, it's time to thank our sponsor for the show, Intel.
The best sponsor in the world. So glad to have them on board.
Absolutely. And of course, we've been talking about the Intel vPro business platform for a while now. And I think you've been checking out all the cool stuff on it, right?
I have. I've been looking at the platform a little bit more, and they got some really interesting capabilities in this platform, right? So I think one of the things that is really interesting is that they have really cool, kind of remote management capabilities.
Interesting. I mean, the platform is, of course, all about ensuring you have the right combination of hardware and software, but it's also more than that. It's also managing that.
Stuff that you used to wait for an IT guy for, right? All that stuff just kind of gets taken care of remotely. The person in the IT department can just kind of do stuff like turn your computer on and off, install software, do basic maintenance tasks. It's just amazing.
Wow, it's like having a professional IT managed team, but without the inefficiencies.
Exactly. And so I'll tell you what, why don't you go to intel.in/vPro, that's intel.in/vPro, and you can learn more about how Intel can help your business get better.
Absolutely. All right, welcome to the show, Fredrik. Thank you so much for being here. And Fredrik Djavidi, am I saying your name correctly?
That is correctly. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. And it's great to have you here in Mumbai in one of the quietest rooms you must have been in.
Yeah, I entered this room and it was like Sweden. All quiet, the air is nice and cool, and I haven't experienced this in India before.
It's great. It's great we could create this very home-like environment for
this
you.
This is like home. Yeah.
It's good to hear that. But welcome to the show, and
thank you.
Thank you for being part of Shunya 1. You're of course here in India on your travel visiting with again this SIBC and the team here from Sweden.
Sweden Business India Council.
Yes. So maybe for everyone listening in, if you could give us a quick introduction about yourself and your startup journey. I believe you've been a serial entrepreneur for quite some time now.
I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and just work for myself, and for some strange reason, I started out in the restaurant industry in way back in the end of 80s, beginning of the 90s. And I just had a feeling, it's not scalable, and it's like all entrepreneurship is 24/7. But I just wanted to do something else. And in the beginning of the 90s, I think it was 92, 93, I heard the word internet.
Right.
Like the first time I heard the word internet, I thought it sounded very cool. So I went around saying internet, and I just said, I want to work with internet. That's why when everybody referred to internet as a thing. So I just started to elaborating that and just see how I could, shift my business from the restaurant industry to whatever was online back then. And for some strange reason, I ended up doing online sales for a company called IDG. It's an American IT publisher. They're present here.
Yeah.
They do the
IDG,
computer world, IDG, and everything. So I was a sales director for the online sales division in Sweden. Back then, we had 30 publications. It was Macworld, Computer World, and all those things. And the whole online banner sales thing started. And back then, it was easy to book a sales meeting. I could call any tech company in Sweden and said, "Hi, I'm going to come out and talk to your marketing division about online advertising." And they all wanted to get educated. Nobody knew anything about it. So it was easy. It was almost like, we had fax machines in the office. The orders came by fax and mail, but sometimes fax as well. So, I'm that old.
Wow. And from that era to what you're doing today, what have been some milestones you can tell us about? And you've always been based out of Sweden,
yeah.
Building all of your businesses, right?
Yeah, even though, some of them have been international, most of them in the end. And in the end, now I ended up in India, since India is, I would say, the fastest growing e-commerce country in the world.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I think are we tailing China, or are we after faster than China?
I don't know. I think it's growing faster since it starts from a lower volume. But I think you are growing faster, and I read some research around the business, and it will reach $100 billion 2022.
Wow!
So that will then put India as the third largest e-commerce country in the world, after US and India.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the story been coming up to KaroBargain,
Yeah.
which is what your current startup here in India is about?
Yeah, KaroBargain. So KaroBargain it's a discount coupon cashback website, which is not unique in that sense, even though we're trying to do a little bit more unique things that we can cover, trying to do things maybe a little bit smarter, or building databases, building some intelligent shopping experience. And for some reason, a few years back, 3-4 years back, I had another venture. So I've been into affiliation, so driving traffic to casinos in Scandinavia and Europe. And that led me to start to work with my today Indian partner in KaroBargain, who's got a business out of Bangalore, where we have KaroBargain head office. So we became friends, and then a long story short, I had a development team in Bangalore. And then I really fell in love with the country and the people and the potential of this country and the scalability it will be in the future.
And what do you see as of course, when you launched, you had a team here developing the product. Why did you choose to continue down the same route which you were already familiar with, affiliate marketing, as you're saying, or did you look at other options and finalize on something like this? I'm
going to try to stick to what I'm good at, or what I'm a little bit better at than other things, and that would be online advertising, which come down to online marketing, or driving traffic and sales and customers to e-commerce companies. That's what it comes down to, actually. That's affiliate marketing. So, if I look at the Indian market, I see, just 2 weeks ago, I was at the Indian Affiliate Summit in Delhi. And the vibe there was like everybody is really like on fire. Right. They have the feeling now it's happening, and the last few years everything is just growing. But if I look at it from a European or UK or Scandinavian or US perspective, I would say that it's almost 10 years behind. Where we were 10 years ago in Scandinavia and Europe, that's where India is today.
Well, what do you mean by that? What kind of things?
When I say that, I will say, if we go into more detail, is how to drive traffic, how to generate traffic, how to generate sales, how to count on ROI, how to buy media, I would say. That's generalizing, but come back to India's got so massive traffic. The online traffic is growing. We were visiting Ericsson a few days ago, talking about the upcoming 5G and what the connectivity in India that is exploding, what that will do for the market, and that will do for all streaming markets. The online is a streaming market, so to say, which just increase all the numbers and the increase of. I think everybody's got a mobile phone now. Not everybody's got a smartphone yet, but give it 2-3 years, everybody will have a smartphone.
Right.
Which
that'll
means
bring everyone online.
Yeah.
I think that's the core India opportunity, I believe. But I actually want to ask one more to follow on what Amit said. What's the difference in the way we are doing things today and what you see abroad in Scandinavia when you say we are still a few years behind? We obviously have more volume.
Yeah. So the volume, that gives an opportunity alone, since the prices in buying traffic online, actually generating sales is much lower.
Right.
So you can actually have a higher return on investment if you really know your numbers.
Okay.
Right.
It comes down to conversion, buying a click or buying traffic, how to drive that traffic down to how many rupees or dollar it costs to buy on CPM or CPC or cost per click or cost per mil or on a CPL, cost per lead, or on a CPA, cost per acquisition. So those numbers will be lower, and that will make an opportunity in the industry to make higher margins in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I think, but then the Indian, since the volume is so high, looking at, as an example, if you look at a really mature industry in the world market, it would be loans. So let's say, I don't know if I have the numbers right, but let's say bidding on a keyword fast loan or a payday loan in the UK might cost you, on Google, I actually don't know, but let's say it costs £20 per click.
Yeah.
That might cost, it's much less here. I don't know, it might be £1.
Because
£2.
your chances of converting it are higher?
No, because the traffic volumes are so much higher.
Aha. Yeah. Okay.
So and it's all based on an auction base. An auction.
Of course.
The demand, the traffic is higher than the demand.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because of the size of the traffic of the country.
Doesn't that lead to fantastic ROIs for the people who are spending money on this right now?
Yes, I think there is a lot of really good media buyers that is making really good ROIs right now.
Right.
And looking at some of the really rapid growth of some of the biggest e-commerce companies, huge success. It's looking at the things that everybody in the world knows. The Walmart bought of Flipkart. And I don't know the Flipkart guys, but I assume they're quite smart media buyers, so they really capitalize on this, especially in the beginning. So.
Interesting. Yeah.
And they, of course, see, we, of course, know these brands, and we are here in Mumbai, where you have hoardings and you have a lot of above-the-line advertising, as it may, right?
Yep.
In the world of digital where, and again, I'm asking this as a total, someone who does not work in the advertising side of things or the media buying side of things at all, what really is... what is the indicator that this is growing? Is it that people are spending more money? Folks like yourselves are spending more money on keywords and trying to buy traffic. Is it a healthy business still? Yeah, and will it continue to be a healthy business in India? Do the margins really make sense at these volumes? Is my question, because India is also a price-sensitive market, and you're buying goods which are not so high value all the time. So is the margin really workable?
It all comes down to what you sell online.
Yeah.
If you sell a life insurance online,
it's huge
might
margin.
be huge margin.
Yeah.
If you sell, saris, it might be very low margin.
Right.
So it all comes down to the product and the volume. And here, the scalability and what we're looking at KaroBargain, I refer to that, is of course trying to build some database of buyers' behavior as well, working with retargeting. So you bought something, you bought a mobile phone, and the next you might be retargeted them with buying some other charger for the phone or something else. And it might be you bought a Nike shoes, and then you might be interested in buying another pair of Nike shoes, or I don't really what it should come down to there, but
so you're saying, that's another layer. That's let's say customer retention or things like the second part of the customer journey. But that first part is where you actually have to get people to these to your portal first,
yes,
and then redirect them to these affiliate marketing sites.
Yeah.
Do you? I have a tangential question to this. When you said you were not doing this uniquely in India, right? I mean, there are others who have been doing similar sites. What made you want to, again, choose to invest in something which is already done? And
yeah, I mean, it's already done, but there's not like one player in India yet. And as you know, India is, as I learned during the last few weeks, I've been to Delhi, Bangalore, and Mumbai. I did actually text you the wrong city when we were a little bit late to this meeting. I texted you Bangalore, but I see the difference in the markets, and I understand that India is not one country; it's many countries.
Yeah.
So I think there will be players that will be, even though it's online, they will have a more stronger brand in different areas of the country. And as of India, it's so big; it will be room for many players within the next, I would say, from now and the next 10 years or 5 years. It all comes down to giving value to the customers and trying to be a little bit better and doing a product that people enjoy or can get value from.
Right.
Do you think Indian customers are unique in any way? From what does your behavior data and analysis tell you? How we shop?
I would say, I mean, since it's growing, you have a lot of new people going online. So they will, just my prediction, they will act like everybody did in the beginning. They will be quite, they will be, want to explore things in another way than a mature market does. A mature market is maybe a little bit more tired of advertising. They're tired of getting an email, or they're trying to get communicated with from brands. And
most people in mature markets don't like that.
Yeah. So, but I think India, and especially, you have correct. Do you know this better than me actually? But the tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 cities is the growing market, and they might be new to this. And they are more into exploring. They might be the first time they buy something online.
So they want over communication.
I think so. I don't know, over communication. But for me, that have done this for the last 20 years, I think that things that I did 10 years ago will work here again.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. That's
part of them anyway. That's why I think India is a very interesting country. Besides, it's a very beautiful country.
How is your Hindi been so far?
Yeah, it's non-existing actually. So, but I hope I can say KaroBargain better now than the beginning. In the beginning I said Karo or car or something like so. It sounds like car, but no, it's not good.
So, how often do you actually come down to India? And of course, what is now? I mean, from a broader question is, how do you see your own background being Swedish and then this connection between the two countries? Do you see that there's something unique here, or what is it between these two countries that you can tell us about?
I mean, there is quite strong bonds between Sweden and India. I mean, just mention one company is Volvo. I mean, Volvo is a Swedish company, and I think every Indian knows about Volvo. Right. Maybe they don't know Volvo is a Swedish company. And then there is a lot of really big Swedish companies that had a presence in India for I would say 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Right. So there's a history between Sweden and India, and then the Sweden-India Business Council is doing a great job and is connecting entrepreneurs from Sweden with India.
Right. Yeah.
So we had this last week a great week. Tech Spark, and then we were in Delhi as well, and now we're ending here in Mumbai. Yeah. So it's.
But you've been here before, and you visit often, I'm guessing, with this business.
Yeah, but I only go to Bangalore back and forth. So this is my first time in Mumbai.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. That's nice. In fact, when you started building your product, and you said you met your co-founder,
Indian partner,
Indian partner in Bangalore, was that because you already had any business happening in India with India before this as well?
No, he was the key to why I came here. We come along very well. His name is Santosh Jain, and he is a great guy and a great friend, and I'm very happy to be working with him.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So then back at Sweden, do you have any other businesses which you're also operating, or are you going to be more in Bangalore?
I'm going to be more in Bangalore and India. I have to come back to Mumbai as well because I haven't seen anything. I haven't even been in Mumbai city yet, and I won't have a chance to visit it this time either. But I will be coming more and more to India for sure. And will be mainly Bangalore. Okay. And the business in Sweden I'm in daily communication with India, so I don't do any business in Sweden actually. So it's more international, and my focus will be India more and more.
Nice. So what do you want to do? You want to do like a shout out to anyone who you're looking to hire, or how are you expanding your team, or if people want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, how should we go about doing that?
Yeah, it's, they can get in touch with me, just Fredrik, which is Fredrik at KaroBargain. So ask me anything. If they want to work with us or they want to sell anything, or they want a copy of the site, because we will start to offering like white label of the site. Okay. So let's say you have a big media company or a blogger or a vlogger, or let's say you have a specific niche, you know everything about technology, have a big crowd, we could actually offer you a copy of the site and adjust it to your vertical.
How would that work? I mean, like, what is the model behind that, and how would that get implemented, right? I think that's something that a lot of people would be interested in, especially if you have a lot of traffic coming to your to whatever website that you're doing.
Yeah, but your social page or something like that.
And that would be, let's say an example. It would be, take someone that has a news site. Mm-hmm. It might be something that is huge, talking about fashion. Mm-hmm. They might have, they want to monetize more on their visitors, mm-hmm. and they don't have their own sales team, or basically they want to monetize more. Mm-hmm. We can actually help them to integrate a whole platform on top of on the domain. It will look like it's their branded discount coupon shop. And if they, let's say they only discuss or only write about fashion, then the site will look like a fashion discount site. Hmm. If it's a tech, let's say it's a tech influencer,
gadget review,
right.
It will only be gadgets from all e-commerce shops all over India, gathering from whatever, Flipkart, Amazon, Myntra. Myntra don't have any gadgets, but they have a lot of nice fashion.
Right. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
That's really cool. Yeah, actually, I think that's really interesting. I think that a lot of people I can think of, especially people who are in spaces like, so for example, if you're doing content from a text perspective, right? Yeah. You have a lot of traffic coming in without monetization opportunities being all that high.
Exactly.
So I think this would be something that would be of a great deal of interest to those kinds of people.
So, and I've been working with monetizing traffic online the last 20 years. So that's what I hope I can contribute with.
Interesting. How would you monetize this podcast? Is an interesting question. How do we sell affiliate links on a podcast? I just
monetized it because I said this, so that's for me. But then it's up to you to monetize this. So
it's really hard to spell URLs on a
podcast.
Yeah.
Intel.in/vpro, intel.in/vpro.
They're our sponsor for the week.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yeah. But all right, this is great. I think podcast is a new medium, so maybe
definitely
there will be something which will help monetize podcasts. At some
podcast
point.
It's online. It's online marketing, more or less. Yeah. So definitely it should be monetized, and we can have discussion about that as well next time I'm here.
Absolutely,
awesome, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Fredrik. This was great, and I look forward to you visiting Mumbai and seeing more of the city.
Yeah, I'm looking forward.
I can't promise it'll be as quiet, but it should be a lot of fun. And thank you so much for doing this conversation with us.
All right, thank you very much for having me.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that episode. And if you enjoy listening to content on the IVM Podcast Network, let me tell you about a couple of things that you should check out this week. On Shunya 1, Shiladitya is joined by Ola Degerford, CEO of Higlo. They talk about how the business came to existence, its journey into the space, and much more. On Noida Kanun, Amber explains Section 354 under IPC. This relates to sexual harassment and crimes against women. Also, do check out our daily podcast, All Things Policy, hosted by the researchers from the Takshashila Institute. They break down complex economic and geopolitical ideas through the lens of current affairs. On Feeding 10 Billion, Ramya and Varun talk to food historian Kurush Dalal. They delve into the history of our food and how it dictates our future. On The Habit Coach, Ashton talks about daydreaming and how one must engineer their imagination. Thanks, and we hope to see you again soon.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by three fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.